Hey guys, well today is Derby Day and we're going to give you a quick walk around and update on the Super Duty Derby truck. Hey guys, Alex here with All For Him Racing, and today giving you guys a quick walk around of our Super Duty Derby truck. We've been working on this the last week here, getting it ready for the Derby tonight, and we're going to be running it again at the Williams County Fair. Last year we brought home the win, so see what this year yields, but if nothing else we're going to go out, put on a show, and hopefully everybody will know that we were there. So here it is. As far as what did we do since the last time you guys have seen it, well, we've topped off the fluids in the on the engine. Did end up changing out the radiator at the end of when everything was done last year. We ended up seeing a crack, small crack at the top of that radiator, so that's been swapped. Other than that, we really haven't done a whole lot. At the last minute last year, we had the front caliper lock up on us, so we just plugged the line. So this year we went to take apart and got a replacement front caliper for this side. So now it's not going to be pulling super hard to the left. It's now nicely balanced and stops a lot better. Go figure, right? But that little issue's been fixed. The other issue was our fuel pressure. That was something that was plaguing us last year, at least that's what we believe was the issue, because our regulator, right when we were getting ready to pull the truck on the trailer for the Derby last year, decided to start spewing gas everywhere. So took that out and then just did a hard connect from the mechanical pump up to the carb. Well, this mechanical pump puts out somewhere in the 8 to 9 psi range, and this thing needs like 5.5 to 6 for the carb. So we were just overloading it ever so slightly, and it was just enough that it kept loading up and wanting to flood out on me, and that's why it kept shutting down. At least that was the theory. So we went ahead and upgraded with a Holly Red electric fuel pump. It's in the back. It's already kind of covered up with the safety protection, so I don't really have much to show you guys there. Inside the truck, really nothing to write home about. We just got our new battery in there and just cleaned everything up, vacuumed, and did all that kind of stuff, and that's about it, quite honestly. Obviously we did some touch-up paint, so repainted, cleaned off a lot of the mud, and maybe just painted over some of the mud in some of the places. I did a little bit of pre-bending in the back here. If you guys remember last year, those were bent out, so now they're both leaning in. Didn't want to get too carried away because this particular promoter doesn't really care much for pre-bending. I know it was pre-ran and all, but for the first time going back, I don't want to really push my my luck too much, so we've got them pulled back and leaning inwards this time, so that way as it gets hit, hopefully it'll all tuck in real nice, and then come next year we can really drive that down, hopefully, if this thing still has life in it, which I'm sure it will. In some way or another. Actually this side would probably be a little easier to show, but went ahead and reconfigured the leaf springs as well. There was the spacer blocks, and this was just kind of a last minute thing I just did last night, quite honestly, and I didn't have extra U-bolts. These ones, the threads were too short, so we took the spacer that was originally below the leaf springs, causing this back end to sit higher, and we just basically just ordered it. So we've got the spacer there just to be able to use the same U-bolts. However, it's not the best way to do it, obviously, but in a crunch at the last minute, it just made the most sense to be able to do that, so we could use the parts that we had without having to worry about threads being super dirty, things breaking, that sort of thing. So able to make that last minute modification. What that does for me is it dropped the back end. The spacer blocks are about 4 inches, so it dropped the back end about 4 inches. So now instead of sitting ever so slightly high in the back, now we've got a little bit more of a slope back, which is preferred for Derby, especially in trucks. Without getting too carried away, because you're supposed to have factory position of your springs and everything for this Derby, so you really can't do much, but just staying within the rules, that's what we did. And again, on this side, kind of the same story. We just did some basic body work, touched up the paint, again laid that the rear bed in a little bit. We got new tires on the back. That's another thing. We went ahead and one of our buddies hooked us up with a pair of DOT approved 16-inch snow tires, so now we're ready to rock on those. And that's really the only thing that really failed us last year, was those tires went down, and then obviously we took some abuse on the backside because we were hitting with the back end. But quite honestly, guys, I didn't really have to do a ton, and you know, that's maybe a mixed blessing. Maybe there's something hidden in there that I didn't catch because I was just assuming that everything was kind of ready to go from last year. So maybe that'll be a hiccup and something I need to worry about. But as far as getting ready to go here, I'm just gonna throw some chains on this thing. Actually, I kind of want to redistribute the load, kind of move the truck on the trailer a little bit because I think it's a little back heavy yet. But then we'll get some chains on here and then be cruising out to the Derby. So likelihood is you guys will actually see the video from that event before you see this video, so sorry about that, but we're just snagging a quick video because I did not get to do that for our Camaro, and I wanted to make sure to do that for this truck for you guys so you could see it before it goes into the Derby again. And you know, fingers crossed for a little bit of good luck. You know, we'd always like to bring home the win, but quite honestly, anytime you can get in the top spot out there with that many competitors and good competitors, we'll definitely take it. So if nothing else, they'll hopefully know that we were there, and we'll be able to put on a show for the crowd. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you have not already done so. You guys are awesome. And until the next video, we'll talk to you later, guys.